The acceleration of a particle moving along the t-axis is given by a of t equals 6t minus 4 at t seconds. The particle starts 8 nanometers to the right of the origin and begins moving to the left at a rate of 4 nanometers per second. Okay, so again, this is the same question we've asked in the previous two examples. If you haven't seen those, just one was on when it starts to slow down, and the other one was on its speed at t equals 1. The next question we're going to ask is when, if ever, does the particle begin to move to the right? So why do we say if ever? Because it might not ever move to the right. When does it move to the right? So when we know is going to be, we want to find t equals something, right? But anyways, let's go ahead and ask some questions about this. And we want to write out some steps as well. Step 1 is to write out what is given algebraically. So again, they gave us the fact that a of t equals 6t minus 4. We're going to go ahead and write that out. So this is acceleration at a particular point in time. So if you plugged in 2 for t, you'd get 8. If you plugged in 3, you'd get 18 minus 4, which is 14. That's the acceleration. Now we're at step 2. We're going to convert what is given verbally to algebraic expressions. It says the particle starts 8 nanometers to the right of the origin, so we're going to write s of 0 equals 8. Begin moving to the left at a rate of 4 nanometers per second, b of 0 equals negative 4. Again, we've done a lot of this work already in the two previous examples. Step 3, we're going to convert the verbally stated question into an algebraic expression. We're going to figure out some t-value when the particle begins to move to the right. What exactly does that mean? Means the velocity is positive. Okay, so when the particle is moving to the left, the velocity is negative. When it's moving to the right, the velocity is positive. So we're going to write v of t is greater than 0. Okay, and actually I want to underline the word begin because I might move to the right more than once, right? So when does it initially move to the right? So we're going to have to do a sign chart. But again, I actually want to do a simulation of this. So let's go ahead and do that. So what t-value you might be able to see from the simulation, does this particle start moving to the right? Maybe you noticed it up there. What was that t-value when it started moving to the right? That's what we're going to solve algebraically. Okay, so let's move on to the next step, which is map out the relationship. You always want to have a clear idea so you know what you're trying to solve for. Since we're trying to solve for velocity, we are given acceleration. So basically what we're going to have to do is integrate acceleration to figure out velocity and go from there. Fortunately, like I said, in the previous two examples, we've already done that, so I'm not going to harp a whole lot on that. But if the acceleration is 6t minus 4, the antiderivative of that is 3t squared minus 4t plus c, and we solve for c using the initial velocity, which is negative 4, so it ends up being your c value. And then we factored it. You can factor this using the x method real quick. The top of the x is negative 12, the bottom is negative 4. Two numbers that multiply to give you the top and add to give you the bottom would be negative 6 and positive 2. Then you would factor this as such. I'm just doing a quick algebra review here. Then you'd pull a GCF out of the first two, and you'd get t minus 2. And you get t minus 2 for the second. And then it factors out to this. So, just a quick refresher in case you forgot how to factor. We want to figure out where the velocity equals 0 because that's where it's going to change sign. And we want to ultimately figure out where it's negative because when the velocity is negative, that means, where it's positive, it's moving to the right. When it's negative, it's moving to the left. We're going to figure out the two t-intercepts for the velocity. So t equals negative 2/3 and t equals 2 if we set these equal to 0. So we get two intervals, the initial time all the way up to 2, and then 2 to infinity. We're not concerned about negative 2/3 because that's before the initial time, right? So it doesn't really count, negative t values. When we plug in 1, we get negative, so we know the particle is moving to the left from 0 to 2 because the velocity is negative there. But from 2 to infinity, the velocity is positive. We plug in 3. Now, you might be asking, where are we plugging this in? You can either plug it in here, or you plug it in this equation. This one might be a little bit easier. Okay, you can see that when you plug in 3 right here, 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. 11, and then 3 minus 2 is 1, so it just ends up being 11 times 1, which is 11. So the velocity is positive on this interval. Again, we know it's positive on the whole interval because it's only got the intercept at 2 from 0 to infinity. So we can safely say the velocity is positive from 2 to infinity, and therefore the particle is moving to the right. So let's read this answer together. The car first starts moving to the right. I want to underline this at time t equals 2. Why? Because that's when the velocity first becomes positive. So again, key phrase here, moving to the right whenever the velocity first becomes positive. And I might even do a different color here because that's our answer, t equals 2, when the velocity first becomes positive. Again, I want to show the simulation one more time. And you will notice that when this particle starts moving to the right, t should be equal to 2. So we see the particle goes all the way to 0, and right there at 2, it started to move to the right. Okay, and that's it. And again, when the velocity is negative, it starts moving to the left. If you have any other questions about this particle movement moving to the right or left, let me know.